My name is Kelly Russell, and I am a teacher here at Reedland Intermediate School. And last year was our first year to even be open as a school. And because of my daughter's involvement with FCA at the high school, I got in touch with Eric to see if we could get an FCA started here. And in that process, the first meeting, I think we had 5-6 kids, and we quickly grew to over 40 kids, which for the school this size, we only have 250 students. It's a pretty good number of students. One of the projects that we did last year, our school was going to be having an auction, and each club or organization was responsible for getting one thing together to auction off to raise money for the school. And my daughter had just asked for a journaling Bible for Christmas, and I thought, oh, that would be, with elementary school kids, 4th and 5th grade, that would be a great way for us to, do something with FCA to contribute to the auction. So started out, I just, took my roster, took the first kid on the roster, gave them the Bible to take home. And for me, it became such a blessing because every day I was so excited to get that Bible back to see which scripture, that child had chosen, and to look at the art that they had put in the Bible. And the kids were begging, can I take the Bible home? Is it my turn yet? Some of them are wanting to take it home more than one time. And then when it came time for the auction, they started out the bid, and the auctioneer started, and I was honestly going to bid on the Bible myself. I was thinking, maybe $100, I can afford that. And very quickly, we were all very shocked because very quickly the bid just kept getting higher and higher and higher and higher. And we had 2 sets of parents that were bidding against one another, and it was very obvious that neither of them was going to budge and neither of them was going to stop bidding. And the bid kept getting higher and higher, up above 500, 600, 700, and again it just kept going, and with no signs of stopping. When the bid got almost to close to $1,000, the woman that was the coordinator for the auction came over to me and asked, I don't know how much longer this is going to go. Do you think that we could duplicate this and make two of these Bibles so that both families can have one? And of course, I was sure, we'll do that. So the Bible actually ended up going for $1,000, but we duplicated that Bible, so that Bible raised $2,000 for our school. But what was kind of so amazing about it is that nothing else in the auction raised more than $100, $200. That stole the show. And it was amazing to me to see how God worked through that, how He took, just a bunch of 4th and 5th grade kids who were just excited about putting artwork in the Bible and finding a scripture that meant something to them. And, God did so much more with that. When we finished the Bible, it was actually closer to the end of the year before we were able to send it home with the 2 students whose parents had purchased the Bible. And the very next morning after I sent it home, Melody's mom called me on the phone and she said, "Did you help Melody pick the scripture out?" And I said, "No, that was, that's their choice. When I sent it home with them, the only requirement was, that they just they tried not to draw over the words." And she asked again, so no one gave her any help with this? And I said, no. And I was kind of puzzled, and I asked her, I said, why? And she said, well, did you see the scripture she chose? Well, I'd looked at it, but I didn't really, think about it too much. And when she told me the scripture, I stood and thought for a second, and then it just dawned on me, and I literally, cold chills just washed over my body because when Melody was younger, she almost drowned. And the scripture she chose was about being pulled from the waters. And, for a child to pick that scripture with no prompting whatsoever was a complete God thing, because how else would she have known to pick that specific scripture out of all the scriptures in the Bible? So that was just one more way I felt like that God really showed up in this project that these kids did. And it meant so much to Melody's parents that, that's why they wanted that Bible. And her dad was willing to pay, as much as he had to get that Bible, because he saw firsthand how God had worked through her in getting that Bible, putting that picture in that Bible and choosing that scripture.
He sent from on high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters.